All right, so let's practice solving equations. This might take some time for you. Make sure you're able to do it correctly. Always find common denominators. So I'm going to set this up and I'm going to have, what would this be? X minus 1 times x minus 2. So my common denominator is x minus 1 times x minus 2. If I multiply both sides of my equation by that common denominator, right? So multiply this side of the equation by x minus 1 times x minus 2. Multiply this other side of the equation by the same thing. Multiply this by x minus 1 times x minus 2. And I will be left with have x minus 2 in the denominator. So on the left side, I'll have 3 times x minus 1. All right, and on the right side, I have x minus 1. So I'm going to have 1 times x minus 2 plus 7, because the x minus 1, x minus 2 is the denominator of the 7. So that's going to reduce. So solving, we have 3x minus 3 is equal to x minus 2 plus 7, which means that 2x is equal to 8. And so my solution would be x equals 4. That's not restricted from my domain, so I do have an actual solution. Okay. If I look to B, all right, let's see anything factors. So this one will be x minus or x plus 1, if I could write neatly. So x plus 1, x minus 1. This one would be x times x minus 1, and this one would be x times x plus 1. So common denominator, going to multiply both sides of my equation by the common denominator, that common denominator being x times x plus 1 times x minus 1. Right, all this is algebra. Um, should have it already mastered, but it can take some practice. Okay, so if I multiply both sides of my equation, so the x already has this as the denominator, so I'm going to have x times x. Then I'm going to have a minus the x plus 3. It already has an x and an x minus 1, so it needs to be multiplied by x plus 1. And that's going to equal the negative 3. We have an x and an x plus 1, so I'm missing the x minus 1 from that product. And so now I have an equation that I can look to try to solve. I have x squared minus x squared plus 4x plus 3 equaling negative 3x plus 3. All right, regroup, reorganize. This is going to give me on the left side negative 4x minus 3 is equal to 3 minus 3x. And that would mean that negative 6 is equal to x. Negative 6 is in my domain, so there is my solution. Okay. I can do the same work if I change my variable. If I change my variable to be a u, that's fine. Common denominator, u minus 2 times u plus 3. So let's multiply both sides of my equation by that common denominator, u minus 2, u plus 3. And I'm going to do that to both sides of my equation. So the 1 needs to be multiplied by both terms of the denominator. The 4 needs to be multiplied by the u plus 3. And on the right side of the equation, if I were to multiply by that common denominator, I would be left with 5 times u minus 2. All right. Multiplying, what do we have? u squared plus u minus 6 plus 4u plus 12 is equal to 5u minus 10. All right, so u squared plus u, that's 5u minus 5u, so that's going to be 0. Minus 6 plus 10, that's going to be, or minus 6 plus 12, that's going to be 6, plus another 10, that's going to be 16. So we're going to have u squared plus 16 needs to equal 0. So therefore, u squared needs to be negative 16. And this would tell us that we have no real solutions. There are no real solutions for this particular equation. That just means that 1 plus 4 over u minus 2 never equals 5 over u plus 3. Okay, now what about for the next one? We have 1 over n squared plus 7n plus 6 equaling n plus 1. If we look to factor our denominator, we have n plus 6, n plus 1. So let's multiply both sides of our equation by n plus 6 times n plus 1. That sets us up with 1 is equal to 4 times n plus 6. Right? And if I solve that, that means that 1 is equal to 4n plus 24. So negative 23 is equal to 4n. So n must be negative 23 divided by 4. It is okay to get a fraction as an answer. All right. So solving equations, make sure we take care of business.